It's something that you can't escape. You need to do it every spring. It's the return of the warmer weather. You just want to go on with it and make some nice and sweet maple syrup for the whole family. So basically we have a series of lines that running down from the slope where our trees are tapped, going down on the drop line. It is a smaller tubing than the conventional 5/16 tubing. This one is only 3/16. The whole reasoning behind this is that it takes less sap to fill up the tube. The weight of the sap will actually be pulling down, creating a natural vacuum. So here Simon is going to be installing a spile into this tap, fresh tap that we just tapped. So we're installing, you can see the tree is already leaking. And we can see it dripping already. So we install a bucket and we want to give it a little protection by installing a cover just in case of rain and snow. Because at this time of year we can get any types of weather, so we don't want to have any water or any precipitation falling into the sap. So if we were having a little bit of a warmer temperature today with a good deep freeze last night, this tap would be running way faster than it is now. Right now we're maybe getting a drop every 5 seconds, where this tap could actually be dripping like 2 drops per second, so it will be almost like a little open faucet, as we call it. This is the traditional way of doing it compared to the tubing system that we have seen earlier. So basically the sap that is collecting from the buckets, we have to filter it this way because it is not really pure. We'll have little pieces of barks. There could be some early spring insects floating in it. So we have to make sure that it's filtered really clear before we put it in the storage tanks, where it is very different with the tubing system because it is completely sealed, so we have a perfectly pure sap coming down to the storage tanks. So now that we have filtered this, I will pour it into our storage tank over there. So it's been a tradition for me every spring, you know, when March and April comes around, which is the only time of year where you can actually collect maple sap, because it only happens when the trees are freezing at night and thawing during the day. So there's only a certain amount of time in the springtime, early spring, when you can do that. The whole idea is to have the hottest fire possible underneath the pan, and basically the steam coming out of the main evaporator will be warming up this this pan here. Basically, we do not want to put any cold sap in the pan, because if we do that, we will slow down the rate of boiling, because then it takes so much more energy for the fire to keep it boiling. In early spring, like we are right now, where the sap is not as sweet, where we may have only less than 2% sugar content, it may take an entire barrel like this of sap to be evaporated down to give you only 4 bottles like this of maple syrup. We are basically making maple syrup just for ourselves as a hobby. Obviously all our family members want some, so we're doing it for our family and friends. We are not a commercial operation. This is just the love of doing it.